The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to One-on-One with Jeff Meacham, the first one-on-one I've done in, Jesus, feels like way too damn long. But I did set a goal for myself this year that I would do at least one interview, fresh interview per month in 2023. And when I saw that my buddy Adam Kontras, who I haven't had on the show proper since, I think it was the anniversary show, you popped in for the brief cameo in the car.
No,
I saw it there. So, what's that?
It's been 1 year.
Yeah, it's been a year. Yeah,
it was for Journey Volume 1.
It was because I went down to the house to talk about the journey, and it ended up being a therapy session more than anything else for both of us. So, but I figured with the official release on Amazon of both volumes of the journey so far, there it is. There's the cheap plug right off the bat. We'll go ahead and get that out there. But yeah, check that out on Amazon, guys. I figured, all right, the first interview had to be with Adam for the year, and I wanted to bring in because the reason I wanted to focus on your story, your journey, if you will, this month was because of the conversation you told me you had with our mutual acquaintance Rusty, who I've met a grand total of one time officially that I know of when he was in character at Universal Studios, but you're familiar with him through, as he said, because you're the DeLorean guy.
Yeah. And
I figured, okay, everybody knows about Adam that I've talked to through one of these mediums that you see here in front of you guys on the screen. But people, in my experience, have not really taken the time to deep dive on where your story started and how you kind of got where you are. I know we talked about it briefly at the bar amongst the
It's understandable, though, because it's so big. I at no point am I like, what do you mean you haven't watched 2,300 videos that I have online? Like, so, but what I found specifically interesting about Rusty was that, he plays Doc Brown. So we end up doing events together. And he's Doc Brown. And, and just like me having a bunch of different stuff, so does he. He's not just Doc Brown every day.
Of
just
course.
Like Don isn't just Mayor Goldie Wilson. But it is really interesting to watch the reactions to these movies because they realize not only am I not the DeLorean guy, I was so strongly defined as something completely different.
Yes.
And I have to admit, after finishing 2, I cannot believe they're the same person.
We talked about that. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, just the sheer contrast in appearance alone, and I took the time. We'll throw it up here in post. Boom, between Adam in 2000, Adam in 2010, Adam in 2020, as you literally transform yourself into those 3 people during the course of the reshoots, if you will.
Hey man, gaining 50 pounds and growing a beard does it for just about everybody. It's not like I did anything fantastic, but
it's like we crazy hockey fans, grow those playoff beards for 2 months, and then we're good for the rest of the summer.
Right,
you sat there and freaking deep dove into that shit.
Well, it's funny because I never thought of the whole I'm going to talk to myself 10 years later. The way the whole thing works, just a real quick overview.
Yes.
I started the journey just as a way to document what I thought would be my quick little rise to fame in 2000.
Right, of course.
Quick little rises to fame, at least in my experience. And what ended up happening was the little videos and entries that I was posting became almost just like a therapy for me because like at least I could write about them there. And, it was embarrassing that I'm documenting what a loser I am, but at least I had that. So as I'm going through life and all sorts of changes and so on and so forth, in 2009, I realized, if I do 160 entries and videos this year, I hit 1,000 on the 10-year anniversary. And I went, that's a pretty cool idea. Wouldn't that be a cool movie of just a 10-year
hook?
The journey from 1 to 1,000. And I did it, and I killed myself. I got it all done. And then, as you will find out, or doesn't end real fucking well.
No. No,
And
it's very akin to the end of Fastest DeLorean Part 1. It's like, hey, it's right, and then oh
yeah,
shit.
right. And so then I did a show back in Columbus for Entry 1000, and I showed the video, but I didn't know how it would make a good movie, because I'm like, well, this is fucking awful. Why would I do this to anybody? And then I got the idea. I was just in bed one night, just going, Jesus, would 2000 Adam even be happy with all the successes
Right?
I had, considering I lost Jess and all these other things? And I said, well, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to talk to that guy. I'm going to talk to that guy and be as honest in writing it as I could humanly be.
Yes.
And see what comes out. I had a bunch of ways I knew it could go. I didn't know how it would go.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, I think I mentioned this in volume 1, in our last interview. Somebody had reviewed it and said, I wished there had been more interaction between 2010 and 2000.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and my response to him, privately, was, I had to be honest.
Yeah.
And 2000 was fucking done with me.
Oh yeah.
The second I chose to stay out here instead of go back. He was out. He checked out. And he just sat there like this. And there was no interaction.
And he totally
the second that story was over, he's like, really, motherfucker? That was it? I'm gone. Yeah. I'm going back to Columbus. And then I romantically, he sees Jess and says, you know what, maybe I'll do it better this time. And that was when I finally found what the stamp on the movie was to me, which is, all of us think if we had it to do over, there's things we'd change. And I don't believe that's true, because we're really in the moment. You did exactly what you thought was right then.
Exactly.
You did what you wanted then. You think, oh, well, it was because this guy did this. And it's like, no, you got a set of fucking cards. You looked at them. You tried your best. Didn't fucking work out. But you did exactly what you would have done. Yeah. And even if you knew it wasn't going to... have you seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Well, so...
my favorite part of that fucking movie is the end, when Jim Carrey looks at her and goes, I know this isn't going to work out, but I look at you and I can't see any reason not to be with you. And I'm like, yep, that's the point.
It's that eternal human question. If you could go back and change, knowing what you know now, would you do it? And, you mentioned the Jim Carrey movie. I liken it to the Garth Brooks song, The Dance. I could have eased the pain, but I would have had to miss the dance, man. And it's like, sometimes the dance is just so worth it. And, as people watch the movie and, literally watch your journey unfold in front of your damn self.
Yeah. It's funny. The term video blogger has turned into something that is quite different than what the journey
is.
And so I think it's very difficult for me to publicize it, because it seems like this constant self-obsession, and I don't know how to tell them until you've seen it. It's not really about self-obsession. It's about the shit we all go through to try to be fair to our talents. I think that's what it comes down to. Right. Half of the reason I've done any of the shit I do is because I logically look at what I can do and go, okay, I think this is what I should do. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time.
Exactly.
So it's the documentation of that. And then, of course, the second one, I didn't really think there would be a second one. But then after a couple of years, I went, wouldn't it be funny if? And then I thought about maybe 2020 talks to me. Okay. And I let it go for a long time.
Yes.
And then, of course, when Fastest DeLorean happened, and of course COVID, and I got quite bigger and bearded, I thought, holy shit, wouldn't it be hilarious if I looked just awful?
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the whole thing for you, but when 2020 Adam appears to 2010 Adam, who, if you've watched the first one, 2010 Adam is, rather skinny, small, whatever you want to call it, and he goes, whoa.
And what's funny is that, what a funny idea, right? So you get that funny idea in your head, and I'm starting to write some shit, and then I went, oh fuck, that means I have to be 2010 again. Oh, hang on. This got demonstrably more difficult, which is why we're talking about this in 2023 and not 2020. Because holy fuck.
Now we have to do this. We have to do this healthily.
Yeah. So to give people an idea, everybody wonders like, well, how did you grab this and do that? In volume 1, 2010 and 2000 were filmed on the same day.
Right.
Literally within, basically I had my goatee. I looked just like I normally do.
Yeah.
When I shaved, there's a certain weight, and I know when my jawline will look like this, and I know when it won't. And like, my face looks fine now, but my stomach still look like it's really nerdy actor shit. But I know those weights. So
oh yeah.
I found a weight in 2010 where, because I was wearing a black suit.
Yes.
So I was wearing that. You couldn't really see my body. My face looked fine. But then when I shaved my beard, I suddenly looked like I had gained weight.
Right.
So 2000 looks heavier than 2010, same exact fucking day. So it's a great little trick.
Yeah.
2020, however, I had some problems with that one because first of all, I had to lose weight for meeting Michael.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Because I was like, well, fuck, I got to go up against my goddamn video from 95. I don't want everybody to go, oh, Jesus, that guy has had a rough couple years.
Yeah, been a rough 25.
Right. So then I'm like, I'll get fat and happy. And in 2021, I grew the beard. I had certainly had the weight. But I did something that I'm kind of glad I did. I lost about 20 pounds to be Fat Adam.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And the reason was because the beard kind of adds a little weight.
Oh, it definitely does.
I'm certainly way heavier, but I tried it. So because I got to be 2020 Adam again, goddamn, and I don't want to have to be right. Like, geez, like, so I'm trying to think of all this shit. So I did that in May of 21 on my way to which I thought was going to be me recording 2010 Adam in 21, and I was just really hard. And then, the kids still weren't in school. Finally, the kids go back to school. But then, of course, 2022 ended up being this big, let's go everywhere. Let's go to Disneyland. Let's go to Palm Springs. Let's go. And so, I mean, it was just, I think I even said in the last interview, I was like, I think I'm going to be able to knock this out by June last year. Oh, no. No, I was not. So I basically came down to it in August. I'm like, all right, I got to lose. I think at that point I had to lose like 45 pounds.
Yeah, we talked about that over the summer. It was
3 months. And I did it, and I recorded that at like November 18th.
Yeah,
I barely got it edited to get it to the. I mean, it was as tight as you could possibly do it. Yeah. And I've been able to maintain the weight loss, which is good because
that is awesome.
About this last time, no more goals and routines. This is forever.
Right.
For the rest of my life, I'm going to log everything I eat.
Yep.
For the rest of my life.
Yep.
And that's it. And I just accepted that I can't just eat till I'm full.
No,
I can't. No. It's that Louis C.K. line. I don't stop eating. I mean, a lot of people, I've had just enough nutrition and I'm good. I stop eating when I want to fucking kill myself. I wait till I hate myself.
Right.
So the only thing that's helped me with that is if I log what I eat and I know what I eat and I have a calorie range that I know I'm good at. And right now I'm kind of maintaining, which is so fucking easy considering what I had to do to lose.
Right. Exactly.
I got my little handy dandy watch and, so
yeah,
I'm in a good place for that. I'm very happy with that.
You and I talked about that when we were sitting there throwing back the whiskey at the bar, that, it's easy to do everything, but actually do the thing. You can make excuses. Oh, I can't lose weight because it's like, yeah, you can. You can't do. Yeah, you can.
I mean, I've said this to all of my friends trying to do it. I said, you have to want it more than you don't want it. And there's because I can't tell you, I mean, fuck, for 2 years, start, stop. If you looked at my logs, I mean, everything's good. Blah, blah, blah. And like when I go off, oh man, I can knock out a large pizza and a 6-pack. Like, I mean, so that's the thing. I had to want it more than I didn't. And I mean, it's funny, just, for health reasons. And so you don't die. You know what? That shit doesn't work in your brain. At least it doesn't work in my brain.
No, yeah, it's
right. It doesn't. It has to be something that you just finally have to want it. And
Exactly.
I don't know when that is. For some people, it never is.
Yeah, it was funny. Since we've last been on camera together officially, I've got the job at Disneyland, of course, and my sister.
Congratulations on that,
Yes,
by the
thank you,
way.
appreciate that, appreciate that. And my sister, who worked there before, told me two things. You're going to get your step count going through the marker for the roof,
Right.
and you're going to lose weight. It's going to be a thing.
Right.
I'm down under 300 for the first time since I worked at Walmart 5 years ago.
That's
And
nice.
that was like, oh shit, I got below the 3 bills. All right, we're good to go. So one of the goals I set for this year, long-term goals, was all right. Healthfully, it's doable to get down to where I wanted to be at the end of last year, which was 200. So it's doable. So just and like you said, people scoff at things like you said and things like Dallas Page said. Logging it and accountability is everything on that shit.
Well, yeah, it is accountability. I think that's what
100%.
it is. Even if I say, you know what, I'm going to go off, right? I'm going to not stay within what I want to.
But I'm going to do it. Yeah.
But I still write it down.
Yep.
And I still get on a scale.
Yep.
Even through so like over Christmas, we went down to some relatives' house or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And, I've gotten really good at knowing almost by the density of the food, how much calories. Like I've gotten so good with the numbers aspect of it, but I kind of kept an idea, and I was fine. But the second I stopped doing that and I stopped getting on the scale, oh shit, boy, oh boy. More than anything, the feeling. My goodness, dude, I cannot tell you how much better I feel when you eat better food, because inevitably what you end up doing is just eating chicken, vegetables, potatoes.
Great example. We went to yesterday, the family up here, we went to the rest of the family went to Jersey Mike's, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go flame broiler, chicken and rice. Boom. And then for dinner, my sister's mom like, let's do Cracker Barrel. I'm like, no. So then, how about Habit? I'm like, okay, I can get a plant-based burger there. We'll do that. Plant-based burger and a lettuce wrap, as opposed to just it's all you and I's conversation has kind of reinforced what I've been telling myself for years. Everything in life, whether you guys out there know it or not, is a choice. Every single thing you do is a choice. So it's all about choices. And luckily, and I'm not gonna kiss the company's ass too much, but the company gives us backstage a lot of good choices as far as food and as far as the way we lay out our day. So that's been the key. Accountability and routine are so crucial, not only physically, but as you learn through the journey, as I've learned in my own journey, mentally, dude. Accountability and scheduling or just routine are so crucial.
I've never really tried to narrow it down to one word, but that is kind of what the journey for 24 years now has been. Accountability. I don't erase entries.
Nope.
I've locked a couple because other people's personal information might not want to be out there, and I don't feel it's my place to share that. But where I look bad, you can find all of it.
Oh yeah.
It's off. I had an affair with a married woman. I was not married at the time, but I knew she was, and it was embarrassing, but that was the choice I made at that time, thinking that that was okay. And, my kids are going to read that someday, and I got nowhere to hide. And I also think that's why things with my wife and I have worked out so well, is that the person she met was not like the best representation of me. It was me. And her mother got to go on the journey and read everything.
Oh yeah.
And as embarrassing and vulnerable as that is, they know I'm not lying. It's all right there. And it's fundamentally changed. I believe it's fundamentally changed the way my wife lives too.
Oh yeah. I agree with that.
And seeing that, you can be completely honest. At the end of the day, if you aren't, what are you doing? So
it's a choice.
Yeah,
you can choose to be honest
to everything I wrote with my career, or I'm going to do this. Well, fuck, I said I was going to do it. It's right there. I better fucking do it. So
yeah, that's been a key thing, good and bad, to my career doing the podcasting thing. It's one of those, you say you do something, then you don't do it. that looks bad on you. Nobody else looks bad. They look at you as not making the right choices or not following through. But at the end of the day, you not being accountable to you looks, brings shit on you.
Right. So you said you watched 1 and 2 back to back.
Okay, so I watched 1 when you originally gave me the reviewer copy back when it was, but then when you gave me 2, I made the decision to watch them back to back, and I said this to you, and I mean it. It's like this is for everybody should watch this. Like even if you're not a fan, even if you're not a Back to the Future fan, you're not a sports documentary fan. This is one of those. This is life shit, dude. Like this is like, okay, if you are a fan of the human condition and just having somebody's story unfold completely almost happenstance and have it be that dramatic and that just intense, especially when you watch it back to back.
Well, man, people, dude, give me 5 minutes. If you start volume 1 and you can turn it off, it ain't for you. And
right?
I mean, because that shit grabs you immediatie.
Oh, yeah.
And then when things start going well, it's like, it's
cool.
I had my man across the street, Mr. Jed Mills, who he killed Joe Pesci in Casino. He likes to tell everybody that's his claim to fame. Had a couple roles on some TV shows as well, but that's his favorite one to tell people. Anyway, he bought him on Amazon, and he was like, he was just gonna check it out, but he was really busy and couldn't do it. He's like, dude, I got through all of volume 1, and I had to go, but so he expected to watch for 5 minutes, boom, 90 minutes right away. And I'm really toying with the idea. You see how you can edit the 2 together, right? Literally, it's one story.
Yeah. So there is a chance for a seamless transition. So
what's that?
I said that there is that moment where you can have a seamless transition if it's edited right, dude. For real.
Yeah. I mean, the scenes they butt into each other.
Yeah.
I redid a scene as new 2010 Adam and just kind of positioned it, and I would love to. I kind of want to do a super cut of it.
Oh yeah, for real.
And just boom, sit through. I know 3 hours is a long time, but it could also be like a 10-part miniseries, and nobody would have a problem with that. People are so weird with time; they'll binge watch 10 fucking hours. But you're like 2 documentaries back to back. Oh my god! But it's cut like a series. I mean, it's fast as shit.
Yeah, seriously, people sit there and wait for midnight on Netflix to watch 6 things. Guess what, kids? That's 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like you're bullshitting yourself.
You watch 1 and 2 back to back, same day, same time, just straight through?
Straight through.
Wow. Well, I'm just curious what your thoughts were.
Like I said, it was I having gotten the chance to know enough of the story behind the story, but then the gaps that were filled in that I wasn't 100% aware of, and just watching it all unfold and watching, because you and I talked about how you met your wife, just briefly. I mean, just kind of like went into like the Reader's Digest version, the Cliff Notes, if you will, of the story. But man, seeing it all unfold and seeing how you got there with Jess, with the affair, with everything that unfolded prior to that, and then you guys literally just fell into each other. It's one of those. It's you don't prepare for something like that, but that's what makes it beautiful.
I noticed. So Rusty, we were talking about Rusty.
Yeah.
Uh,
And again, I'll throw the picture of Rusty. I have Rusty up here right now. Boom, there you go. I mean, it's straight freaking Doc Brown character, block. It's tremendous.
We were hanging out, and he was going to watch. He wanted to watch both of them, and then the kids were like, "Can we watch 1 and 2?" And I was like, "Okay, cool." So they'd seen it before. So we sat this dude down, and like, here's what's funny. So the layout of my couch, it was Talia, Cam, Rusty, Vienna, and then I was behind on like a bench because I was doing some stuff or whatever. So he's sitting there with the family, and
so just for reference, how old are your kids now?
9 and 10.
Oh Jesus, okay.
It goes quick.
Right.
And so he sits down. He has no idea. Like he knows about GolfCon and the DeLorean.
DeLorean guy. Yeah.
He had no idea about the egos. He had no idea about any of that shit.
Oh,
and he's a performer, so he's kind of keyed into this stuff. But of course, what's awkward is when I'm kissing somebody else, and he's like, he doesn't know, like he's got, But what I was not prepared for was the emotional punch of my wedding vows with Talia at the beginning of volume 2.
Yeah.
When you watch everything leading up to it.
Oh my God.
I mean, when I say there'll never be a man who's more appreciative of what passed me by, like
fucking real, dude. Oh my God.
I'm tearing up thinking about it. He started crying. He's like, this is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. And I think that's when I realized this is really like a love story to my wife.
It is.
Like, I mean, it's a love story to my life, but it's also, it's like it was almost predestined to be a love story to my wife.
Yeah, I've been a part of so many damn weddings. Let's be honest. This is happening right now in my head. Fuck, I'm getting emotional. I never believed, truly, without any doubt in my mind, that what you and Talia said to each other, legit, real, and it's going to endure.
Yeah,
that's what I felt when I heard about.
And it's funny, the succinctness of our vows. We've both said they're the best 2 things we've ever written, because something. Yes. I mean, I don't know if you've ever written wedding vows or whatever, or those kind of things.
No,
sometimes you get wordy, and sometimes you don't know what to say, and sometimes you're like, I guess people have said this. There's a shot of me writing them the day of. It's quick. Every sentence I wrote fucking hits. If you've seen The Last 10 Years, and then what she wrote, if you know anything about her backstory, which I didn't really get into, but you can tell she gets it. And we both are just like, oh, fuck, this was lucky. And I guess we're going to go make babies now. And it was just.
And that was the best part. The last line was, yeah, let's go make babies.
Yeah. I mean, it was just so funny. And at the time, it was a funny thing. But looking back 10 years later, you're like, Jesus, we really just went and made babies.
What's so funny is, and again, spoiler alert briefly.
Whatever.
How far in? Like 9 months to the day almost.
It was 9 months to the day. It was literally December 28th to September 28th.
Yeah, 9 months to the day. So y'all went on the honeymoon and did the thing. Like, boom. That's it.
Right. That and just the it seems like a fairy tale. It really does.
And the other thing was watching it when I watched it after freaking literally being immersed in the damn Disney magic for 4 months. It's like, oh, it's a fairy tale.
Yeah, it really
straight Disney shit.
And what's funny is it's organic.
Oh, it is. And that's what makes it beautiful.
The only thing that's inorganic about the Journey movies are, of course, me talking to each other. But I can't really write. Like, I couldn't write out the Kenny shit. It happened. I couldn't write out.
No.
Now, in The Fastest DeLorean, I tried to write him out.
Oh, you did.
That's why I hired Ray. And I was like, I bet I can hide this. And then it got to the point where I fucking couldn't hide it. The Journey's different. I'm just telling you what's happening. But the fact that that the stuff with me and my wife is so almost, it feels like it's written.
Yeah.
I said to somebody, it feels like a completely fake movie.
It was to me. It was to me. You and I were talking about that.
It was so different.
Yeah.
Everything I do works in volume 2. Everything that happens is great. It's like, how the fuck did this guy who couldn't help but get his ass kicked every second is somehow, now the news is here, now fucking Jim O'Here's here, Joel Murray's here, and you're like, what the fucking Norm shows up? What? It's just like, Jesus Christ. And it was so fun to be 2010 Adam going, what the fuck is this? Oh my God.
Yeah, because seriously, because 2010 Adam had lived through it and like just came out the other side scarred, burned, bridges torched on the way over.
End of everything's awful.
Yeah.
Damn near dead, right?
For real. And then 2020 Adam's sitting there going, yeah, but
yeah. Well, I do take it back. That is I did do the little creative thing with the dead Adam thing.
That's true.
So that was a narrative I was at least able to, and of course for the first one I didn't really pick myself up and take me out, but
no.
The reason I did that with the whole dead thing was because that footage that I had, the blurry cell phone footage, burned in my brain, and it was such a huge part of my depression and like seeing that footage fucked me up, and like, how do I portray to the audience what that really did? So I thought it was kind of cool to show it in that way. And it's just a quick opening basically, and then we move on to the real stuff.
Yeah.
So
it literally, and again, it may have been the time of day. I thought it was being the time of day I watched it. And then I watched it again, just clear as day, just clear head, and it's like, no, this is fucking amazing. It's a good
story, man.
Yeah,
it's one of those. Thank God I continued to document through the bad shit. Many people give up when it gets hard.
It is, it's human nature. Just like, nope, I'm done. It's too hard. Can't deal with this shit. And you, to your credit, was like, no, I'm already here. It's already documented. How can I possibly be okay with the journey just being stop? Like, okay, wait.
And it's also why it was so hard. If I'm including people, the people in my life had better be pretty honest and pretty open, or I can't get too close to you. And I talked about this with Kenny. It was the same kind of thing. I was like, listen, man, we're doing this publicly. Fastest DeLorean is a public site, and we're, you can't, I can't help you here, man. There's no, Jesus, dude, this is so.
Well, and again, if people, I can't encourage people not to watch Fast DeLorean too, because I mean, it's one of those, you tried everything you could to pull him out of the way of that bus.
I know. It was like, dude, I can't control this bus anymore. That's the thing. I still get emails about it. It's been goddamn 6 years.
and the thing is, what a lot of people don't understand, and I never met Kenny, whatever, but I think what people don't understand is when you put him under that bus, it's like you're dragging under there with him. It is what it is.
Right.
So, but again, all that nonsense and drama and familial crap that we talked about literally last night.
I mean, fuck, you watched the Journey Volume 2. There's not one thing in my life that is negative other than
but again, you and I talk about, that's what makes it seem like you completely dramatized in a good way the second half. It's like, no, it's just as real as the first part.
Yeah, no, and it was frustrating because it was difficult when Fastest DeLorean was the only thing I had done kind of publicly and big. And it was this big drama. And you wrote the movie and you directed the movie and you produced it. Oh, it's like, it seems like I'm somehow the reason. And finally, once you watch Volume 2, you can see, no, actually, I'm pretty good at being accountable and avoiding that drama. I was cornered on this one. There was literally nothing I could do.
Yeah, we talked about earlier. Once you make the decision that you're open and honest with yourself and whoever you may encounter and the people that or maybe don't know are going to watch this, it's like, all right, well, I'm balls deep now. Let's just do it.
Yeah, that's a crass but very appropriate way to describe it for sure.
You're not being crass. I can't imagine. That was a dynamic from Jump Street, brother. It was what it was. But yeah, it's funny. Again, I talk about, we had you on the shows originally to talk about, the first time was for the Meeting Michael, because I saw, I talked about Meeting Michael, the 2020 version, but it's like, yeah, but this footage is from like 95, like, oh, so when you watch that, you realize that everything that's been documented is just not as it's all organic. It's all valid. It's all shot, from your perspective. And I can definitely see why people would think it's, been dramatized or, embellished or whatever. It's like, well, to a point, maybe technology wise, but certainly not story.
I make it very clear in the Journey movies what's drama and what, I put the fucking numbers literally on it so you understand. I also do that so you get kind of an idea of how much you're progressing, and
Right. Oh yeah. Yep.
I like that just as from a viewer's perspective, because it's kind of cool. I just want to really punch home that these are actually videos you can go on YouTube and see when they were uploaded, and it's accountability, like I didn't, these are the real numbers. Oh fuck, I lost my train of thought. What was the last thing you just said?
Talking about just to talk about everything you shot for me and Michael, it was shot from your perspective.
95. That's what I was gonna say. I'm not 100%, but I'm like 99% sure there is going to be a Journey Volume 0 with my kid, with Cameron, and I'm going to be 2000 talking to 1990. It might be 2000 talking to 95. I don't know, but I've kind of deep dove. I got my camera, Meeting Michael, in 95. I got and then the way I came up with 4 TVs and trying to do that show and then moving to LA, that's a fucking story. It's a really
it totally is.
And then in high school, I actually I kept a tape journal, like a pretty intensive tape journal, stuff that will never be public. Holy God, but there's enough there with pictures and the tape journal and I mean, not as much video obviously, but enough like of me in high school plays or whatever. I do think it would be very interesting for 2000 to talk to 1990. That 15-year-old kid. Maybe it'd be more interesting for me at 50 to talk to me at 15.
Right.
I'm not sure how we're going to do that yet with the deep fake technology and how we can do stuff. If my kid at 15 doesn't really look like me, how are we going to deal with that? But I thought that might be a cool way because fuck it, why not? I mean, I can only make so many of these in my entire life. There are interesting stories. I mean, you can't go beyond. I mean, what the fuck did anybody do before 15? But my other concern, of course, with anything high school related is, other than my wife, she would be cool. But there's a lot of people that I might be embarrassed. And even though it'll have been 35 years old, I'm not sure a lot of them are okay with that. I would have to get their okay. That might be difficult. So I might have to just do 95 to 2000 and tell the story of 4 TVs. So.
Yeah, I have learned in my 20 years of doing the podcast and stuff. Once there's people in the past that would have issue, and you have to go back, it's like, fuck it.
I don't want to make anybody feel bad. I mean, that's,
exactly. You just you don't want to reopen wounds. You don't want to cause feelings, unnecessarily. So I totally get that, but there definitely is a story there, because watching you and Cam watch the Michael footage, it's like that's gold.
Yeah, that was it's funny. I've been trying to dealing with like where are my movies and streaming and this and of course in February of 21 when Amazon said they're not taking documentaries anymore, that was a pretty big fucking death knell to me.
And that was right after you and I had talked at the bar.
Right. So I was on Tubi TV or Pluto TV and so forth, and I started watching Meeting Michael, and I was like, I'm gonna see what this is like with ads, right? And wouldn't you fucking know I got an hour through that goddamn thing. And I waited for those ads to be done. And I was like, shit, this is actually a cute. You forget, right? You forget.
Yeah.
I would still rather prefer you please pay the $1.99 or whatever the fuck to watch without ads. But
Of course.
oh, and I should announce this quickly. We are in the process of begging Amazon to change the prices on my films. I want all of them to be $1.99 to rent, $3.99 to buy, straight up. Because I feel like if you're willing to spend $2, what is $3.99? Like these are prices that really help me. It is you know, if you're going to support someone,
Visibility.
this is a pretty direct. Of course, Amazon gets half, but God bless them for at least. Listen, the fact that anybody in Britain right now can hit a button on their fucking TV and watch my movie on demand is fucking amazing. But I'm sorry, my film distributor got kind of like a first look deal with Amazon, where now they can submit documentaries to them, and then they'll watch them, and there's a pretty shitty process. But I guess maybe my Guinness Book of World Records plaque was enough for them to say, oh, okay, I think this is acceptable.
So let me bring it up really quick for people that didn't, if you didn't watch either interviews with he and I, please go watch them because it's just conversation. It's funnier than shit. But
they're fun.
You are officially Guinness established the world's first video blogger. Period. End of sentence. That is documented.
Not to interrupt you again. I keep getting people that get really defensive of a man by the name of Nelson Sullivan.
Okay.
Who had in the 80s, he just turned a video camera on himself and was talking and did very vlog-like things.
Okay.
I have videos from the 90s when I was doing that same kind of thing. And I just want everybody to know, I think Nelson Sullivan's awesome.
Okay.
I think he's incredible. But since the beginning of cameras, people have turned them around and videotaped themselves. And they just went back and found his tapes and digitized them and uploaded them. The term vlog is video documentation online. That was a very difficult fucking thing to do. all my stuff was in real. I mean, so when I did it, I was the first to ever do it, and am now the longest running to continually do it online and have that open online.
Okay, so online was the key word there.
So yeah, I get it. There were people videotaping themselves well before Nelson Sullivan. Like since
videos prove that shit. So yeah.
Literally since they invented cameras, there were people taking selfies, talking to it, documenting so. But the hard part, and maybe an asterisk to all of it, is it was so goddamn hard to do that shit.
Yeah.
In 2000, in 1999, when I was doing that in 2000, it was as hard as me trying to do this stupid fucking VR shit that I just bought a so the journey's now going into VR, and this fucking
here if you want to hear, we'll do a slow shot so you can show that thing on, show it up close.
Oh, look at that.
There you go. Look at that.
Little camera. Yeah, this is the new Canon R5C with the dual fisheye lens, and a handy dandy little mic. But forget all that stuff, because this films in 8K 60, but you can only do it in RAW.
Oh my god!
For about 49 minutes is a terabyte. Okay, so let alone how can you afford that much space? The processing power to get these files into any sort of editing mode is redonkulous. And so I did have to buy a new computer, and this thing is, you can't even tell. It's so wide. Like, that's how big a normal tower is. Halfway, right? That's the normal size tower. This is double the width.
Oh my god.
The video card, the 4090 video card, is so fucking massive. But
that's bananas.
But what's funny is it reminds me of what it was like to edit in the 90s.
Right?
On a computer, and try to upload, like, the problems I had trying to do that. There's a reason the entirety of the Journey videos in 2000 add up to 31 minutes. Because I mean, your videos had to be like 37 seconds or 45 seconds, or that kind of, it was crazy.
When we first started doing just the audio shows in 2002, and we had to upload them to our own site server. There was no YouTube back then or any of that shit.
Right.
It's like trying to get the shows first recorded, and you'll appreciate this, I think, more than anybody I ever have on any of our shows. To record a phone call with, let's say, somebody, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and he's in freaking Florida at the time,
Right.
We literally have the phone, a cordless house, landline, wired into the computer.
Oh, you at least had it wired. I thought you were going to tell me you did like a speaker up to the fucking.
No. Okay, so when I say wired, I was trying to be cool. Yeah, we actually had it freaking taped to the damn phone. So
yeah. That's what I was going to say.
We've got legitimate, like, freaking masking tape wrapped around the microphone that's into the computer, and the handset on the house phone, and just wrap it around, like, don't move.
Fuck,
and we're sitting there recording a conversation with somebody and feeding the computer later. It's like, golly.
No, but I mean, even today, the shot of me and Don in the airplane?
Oh yeah.
Guess how? The only way to get that, because us talking, I had to grab a headset, tape a recorder to the fucking, the output of the speaker in the head. And it was just like, but it sounds great. Like, I mean, dude,
make shit work.
Necessity, mother of all invention. Dude, if there's ever a fucking motto for the Journey, how many stupid problems was I trying to solve that just ended up in a mini golf course and a DeLorean and a fucking bar, and it's just crazy that in an attempt to solve problems, all this crazy shit happened.
Yeah. It is so fascinating to me that people go out of their way. It's funny when you watch, like shows like Once Upon a Time, or not Once Upon a Time, like the Harry Potter movies or whatever the place, and you think, and humans seem to go far their way to realize there's not magic in the world. It's like, we realize it's there. We just do it, freaking laborly with intensity, because we have to make shit work. We find ways, and that's the true magic. It's like you said, if it's necessary, you do it, and you find a way.
Right, and it's funny. I've had other it's funny. I've had two separate reactions to the whole journey thing, and even fastest DeLorean and those kind of things.
Right.
One is inspired. You never stopped.
Yeah.
The other is, I mean, I wish, we can't all have a DeLorean. And it's like, hang on. I did. It wasn't given. That's the thing is that, we can't all have a mini golf course in our backyard. It's like, you probably could. It's just you have to be crazy enough to do it.
That's a choice.
It does come down to choices, and there are absolutely the people that just feel like their luck is bad. And I'm like, dude, you want to see somebody with some rough luck, you watch the first volume one. Like, crazy bad shit happened. Like, stupid. There's no way my manager shouldn't have been able to help me get an audition after Adam and the Egos on CBS. Like, an audition. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, just that. Yeah.
Like, we're talking like, fuck not making the audition. I'm like, bitch, can we fucking get anything done?
Can we schedule the audition? Yeah.
Right. That's actual bad luck. But acting as if you're born under a bad sign, bullshit. You just keep fucking going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. My whole life is shit not working out, and you just keep going because what's the other option?
It's like, motherfuckers' personalities literally were on the set of Young and the Restless in the Abbott Family household. That's drama. That's crazy.
There you go, right?
But you know what? When you live in a soap opera, you find a way.
Yeah, no, it's true. Well, I mean, if it's an opportunity, I think that everything is an opportunity. Every crisis is an opportunity. And as Don said to me in volume 2, he's like, "You're the king of lemonade." And I
love that line. Don,
he nailed it.
Yeah, as much as I love his quote in Mega Time. If I had a nickel for every time, and it's true because that's what he's famous for. But man, his lines, his reactions on your films, dude. Don's my freaking hero through a lot of this shit.
Yeah,
it's great.
You can even see me struggling. That was a really cool moment, actually. That was pretty organic because I was not ready for him to say, "That's the best thing you ever did was release that movie." I'm like, because my car's still breaking down. I'm talking to my brother. Like it was all pretty negative, even though we were at a drive-in to see the movie. Yeah. And then I just said, "Well, I make lemons out of lemonade or lemonade out of lemons." He goes, "You're the king of lemonade." And then I said, "I just refuse to have bad shit happen to me." And that's a different way to approach choices.
Yeah.
When anything bad happens, this is truly how I think of it. How do I make that awful thing happening be the starting point that I look back on going, had that not happened, I wouldn't be here. It's a little different than trying to find silver linings. I mean, if that car hadn't blown up, my life wouldn't be as good as it is now. And I can now definitively say, thank God that car blew up.
Yep.
Right? At the time, oh my God, how could you possibly make a positive out of your fucking car blowing up on the side of the road?
Seriously.
Did. Because that's the catalyst that put Fastest DeLorean out there, which then led to the film distribution deal, which is now I got 5 fucking movies out and it's all because that goddamn car blew up on the side of the road. So
yeah, on a California freeway. Let's be clear.
On right outside the Disney building, the Disney animation.
I don't think so.
Full circle. Jeff Meacham. So yeah, beyond choices, I beg anybody who's watched the movie or who is watching this interview, don't just try to find a bright light. Make that bad shit be the literal ground zero and starting point to something in 5 years you're going to go, man, that was the best shit that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really fucking hard to do that, but it's something you can do.
Yeah. I can't think of a better way to end on that, man. Don't hit reset. Just hit restart.
Or lean into the bad shit.
Oh, yeah.
Go, how can this become like, I mean, people just want to reset and restart and ignore and run away. And I'm like, you can't run that fast, man. It's gonna bite you, so you better make it a positive.
Yeah, and if you can't run that fast, try for the Olympics because damn it, we need you. For real. There you go. There it is. Okay. So again, you mentioned 5 films. I'm so glad I made the graphic. Clearly, you made the graphic not knowing you were going to plug all 5 of them, but hell, let's go ahead and do it. Shit.
There are 5.
So, I mean, thejourney.com, of course, for TV. Let me get my stupid logo off there. Jesus Christ. Get the crap out of there. There we go. Okay. So, you can find all these on Amazon too now, right?
Everything's on Amazon.
I love that. Everything on Amazon. So those are on Amazon. And of course, the official journey, again, guys, it's one of those. I've known Adam now for, in direct contact for almost 2 years, but I watched those 2 movies back to back, and I feel like I've known the guy my entire life. And we talked about that when we were having our conversation. And when you made me one of the entries, it's like we talked for 5 minutes, and it's like we've been talking for 10 years. It was wonderful, and I can't. Watching this story, I mean, yeah, you get his entire life, so you do know his story, but the way Adam lays out the story makes you feel like you've known the story all along when you're done. And I think that is a key element to any documentarian, filmmaker, any of that. If they can bring you in to the story they're telling, and that's what you do on everything you do, brother. And I can't express the appreciation enough for the awesomeness.
And also, please, if you do rent it on Amazon or buy it on Amazon, please rate and review it.
Oh my God, please, for real.
Jesus, dude, it is a problem with getting.
It is because people want to consume and not,
even if you hate it.
Yeah.
Put that 1 star on there. Say Adam can suck a dick, and
seriously,
that still helps me.
This is the worst shit ever. He's liar.
I would rather you not say that, because it will affect my sales. But my goodness, I'm invisible right now without reviews.
I've said this, and I'll try to close now. Life is a lot like wrestling. It's not difficult to book. It's just difficult to finance. It's the way it is. So, again, Adam, thank you. Appreciate you, man. I always enjoy talking to you. Please, everybody, go on Amazon, rent the movies, Fastest DeLorean 2, Meeting Michael, and of course, the Official Journeys Volume 1, the Official Journey Volumes 1 and 2, easy for me to say. And again, we will definitely have Adam back on at the end of the year, because now I've set myself a goal to get down to that 200. So at the end of the year, what's that?
Your 40th is in March?
40th is in March. So we'll definitely be down there in March at some point. Right. But if I end up not going to San Francisco, it'll probably be closer to the birthday. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm 90% sure I had the time off. It's just a matter of what Disney actually feeds me at the end of the week. Brother, thank you very much. Again, guys, it's Monday, so check out Aaron's Raw Recap tonight on ODQ.com. Tomorrow, of course, Talk Wrestling, Stop By Sports Bar, Greg Cherry Show, all the things this week. You know how we do in the Jeff Meacham Network. He's Adam Kontras. I'm Jeff Meacham. We'll see you next time.